So this is a randomly inspired video, but what do you do to honor one of the 50 names of Marduk after you've done it, one of the Necronomicon Spellbook spells? Let's talk. So before I get to the answer to that question, let's take a couple of steps back. So you've already decided what you wanted to manifest. You've picked one of the 50 names of Marduk. You've followed the 7 steps in the Necronomicon spellbook, and then you have kept the sigil hidden away, either somewhere in your abode or maybe somewhere on you. Could be in your pocket, in your wallet, in the pocket of a jacket, maybe in your car, what have you, whatever. But so then, as the journey continues, let's say, you find that the intention of your spell comes true. You end up landing that job or whatever you wanted to have happen happens. So then the spirit that you worked with is no longer beholden to you, right? So, I talked about this before in previous videos where the Necronomicon spellbooks spells, right? They have, or the sigils, they have the circle around them, right? So that binds that spirit or that spirit's energy through their calling card, through their phone number or their sigil to that piece of paper which you created. So it creates a bond between you and them, and the intention put into that through the 7 steps in the Necronomicon spellbook kind of seals the energy of it and acts as an attractor of that intention, right? And then, it's time to set that spirit free in thanks. So yeah, about the circle, right? When there's a circle around a sigil, that seals that energy in. So let's say you were to never get rid of that sigil. One, your intention is already manifest. So you have like a little siphon of energy laying around that you never did, and you never did anything to release it. So it's like having something plugged in that you never use. It's just sucking up energy, and it's increasing your electricity bill, stuff like that. Like I have a little air filter in the back here going all the time. Or even if you leave your coffee pot or your microwave or even your TV plugged in all the time, it's still using a very minute amount of juice. Now, over time, that can lead to a lot of increase in your energy bills. It's wasted energy, so you want to release that. So you got to think of how to do that in the context of the Necronomicon in a positive way that honors the system. So if you look at the Necronomicon, what is the main element that is used in that book? Fire. I'm glad you answered that. If you didn't, study up a bit. So, where do we use fire mainly? Well, we have the candles, and we have that fire that is lit in the bowl of the Watcher with the herbs like pine, sandalwood, cedar to honor the Watcher. Now, what does the Watcher do, right? The Watcher carries your intention from where you are off into the universe, whether or not you're targeting a specific somebody or whatever. So if you are going to, after your spell is manifest and everything, and you have this sigil, what do? So you set up your temple, your ritual space. In this case, I suppose you could cast a circle or not. Generally, when you call on one of the 50, it is my suggestion, and it is also part of the book itself, that you don't cast a circle. Otherwise, that would be one of the 7 steps, which would probably make it 8 steps. But, so what you can do is invoke your Watcher. And, this is, if you have one, and if you're working with the energy of the Necronomicon and stuff, you should. But, there's plenty of people that just go for the regular 50 names of Marduk spells and what have you. So, if you have a ceremonial burning bowl where you have burned offerings and such, then call upon the name of Marduk with the Z key Akanpa Zianakanpa. That whole prayer, right? But your intention this time is to give thanks. Okay? And when you're done with the hear me, O thou, da da da, all that, burn the sigil and, gaze upon it. Have your intention be of thanks and, you know, reflect on what that spirit helped you with. Maybe even ask what you could do for it. Perhaps it wants a specific thing burned. Perhaps the spirit would want you to do something else, or maybe offer something else. Maybe they would want something different than pine, sandalwood, or cedar. Or, maybe they want new bread or some other offering. Or maybe they have a message for you. So that is your chance to open up that communication again with that particular name of Marduk to, kind of seal the deal there. It's that meeting of, yay, we did it. That kind of thing. But when you burn that sigil, you are setting it free, right? Now, alternatively, if you're like afraid of fire and stuff, well, for one thing, what are you doing using the Necronomicon stuff if you're afraid of fire? But if you have like a living situation, like if you're in a dorm or something, you can't really set things on fire and whatnot. One thing that I have done, and the main important part is that circle that's around the sigil, right? You got to break that. So there have been times like before I set it on fire, and even before I thought of this anyway, what I did was I tore the sigil completely in half, and then in halves again, and then in halves again. The point is you're breaking that seal. It's almost like cracking an egg open, right? You're letting that energy out. You're letting you crack an egg and it goes, right? Cool sound effect. I should work on those. But yeah, so effectively that's how you would honor, or at least the way in which I honor the 50 names of Marduk after I am done with a spell that I did and I manifested the goal that I was looking for. So hopefully you found this helpful. You guys can let me know down in the comments. You can also connect with me on any of my other social media and stuff. And, if you like this and you want to find more stuff on this, I'm in Necronomicon and even general magic and all that stuff, you can check out my channel. Please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell and all that stuff. And you can even find me on Patreon if you like what I'm doing here. Good hunting. Thanks for watching my video. So if you want to check out my playlists, I have, among others, the Simon Necronomicon, the Tree of Life, General Magic, Tulpamancy, a playlist on my books, the elements, stones, the theories that govern magic, and the gods and goddesses of Mesopotamia. If you want to check out my books on Amazon, I have Creating Consciousness, Magical Mechanics, Magical Theater, Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Movement, which is an update and expansion upon Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Mastery, which is a combination masterwork of Magical Theater and Magical Mechanics, and The Guide to the Spheres and Beyond. You can also find me on Facebook at Magickology YT. You can email me at priestofthenecro@gmail.com, and you can even check out my Instagram, which is Magickology. And good hunting.